Hello, my dear students in 4th primary. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Now, if you go to the library, لو رحنا مكتبة to buy a notebook and a pen, ولقينا إن price of a notebook is 4.5 pounds. ولقينا إن price بتاع البن is 2.5 pounds. How much are you going to pay in total? هتدفع كام في كل الحاجات دي؟ If you found the answer very quickly and know how to calculate it, لو عرفتوا تجاوبوا السؤال ده بسرعة قوي, then I'm sure متأكدة إن انتوا هتفهموا today's lesson very well. Now, today's lesson 6, adding mixed numbers, and we will learn how to solve addition problems of mixed numbers with like denominators, which means having the same denominator. In order to achieve this goal, I want you to think about how we can benefit. ازاي بقى هنقدر نستفيد من اللي احنا اتعلمناه in the last lesson about mixed numbers, which consist of whole number وكمان fraction, as well as your knowledge of adding and subtracting fractions. And now record, عايزاكم كلكم تسجلوا الايدياز بتاعتكم in a piece of paper or notebook to help you عشان تساعدكم in the activity collecting pineapple juice under access part on page 18 in your school book. Let's do it all together. And here in this activity, as you see here Raja has 1 full liter of pineapple juice and 1/3 liter left in another container. يعني هي عندها 1 whole and 1/3 in another container. وعلا معاها 2 full liters of pineapple, 2 full liters, وكمان 2/3 liter left in another container. طيب السؤال هنا بيقول لي ايه؟ بيقول لي how much juice do they have all together؟ الاتنين على بعض قد ايه؟ I will give you now some time to record your thinking and solve the problem. You can draw or use models. ممكن نرسم models to help you in solving this problem. And when we are back, we will discuss your answers all together. And now after we have finished, as we agreed, we can use models to represent the available information. اتفقنا ممكن نستخدم models عشان تساعدنا في الحل بتاع البروبلم بتاعتي, which will make it very easy for us to solve it. We can represent the amount of juice that Raja has, which is 1 full liter by rectangle. طب rectangle متقسم لإيه؟ متقسم ل 3 parts. يعني أنا ممكن أرسم Raja like this. 1 full يعني 1 rectangle متقسم ل 3 parts. طيب اشمعنى قسمت الريكتانجل 3 parts؟ ليه ما قسمتهوش مثلا 4 parts أو 5 parts؟ عشان رجاء كمان معاها 1/3 liters in another container. عشان كده اليونت of fraction بتاعتي is 1/3 and that's why I divided it into 3 parts. طيب I can also make another rectangle of the same size of this one divided also into 3 equal parts. يبقى هعمل another rectangle وهقسمه برضو 3 equal parts, right? However, we will color only one part of it. يبقى رجاء معاها 1 full liter و 1/3 liter. يبقى I will shade 1 whole and 1 out of 3 in the second rectangle. In the same way, we can represent the quantity of juice. علا has. طيب هي علا كان معاها ايه؟ كان معاها 2 full liters وكمان 2/3. يبقى هرسم ايه؟ هرسم 2 rectangles. This is علا. هرسم 2 rectangles, each one divided into 3 parts like this because it has 2 full liters. يبقى I will shade the 2 holes. وايه كمان؟ I must draw another rectangle like this. But this time, I will only shade 2 out of 3. I will shade 2 parts only out of 3. طيب, يبقى, so رجاء has what? رجاء has 1 and 1/3. وعلا has what? علا has 2 and 2/3, right? Okay, now, when I add the 2 together, so I will make it what? هعمل ايه؟ هعمل 1 plus 2 equals 3 and 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 3/3. طب هو مش 3 over 3 equals to 1 whole 1 يبقى 3 plus whole 1 equals 4. يبقى رجاء and علا معاهم دلوقتي 4 liters. اوكي طيب انا عايزه اسال سؤال، هو انا لو عملت addition للهول نمبرز first وبعدين الفراكشن هتفرق في حاجه لو عملت ابتديت بالفراكشن وبعدين الهول نمبرز؟ it doesn't differ. ليه؟ لان الاديشن as we know it has additive commutative property, right? يعني لو if I change places the answer will keep the same. And now after we know that both of them have 4 liters and we have finished this problem, now let's move to the next part, which is build. And now from this activity and through the models that we drew, we understand that in order to add the mixed numbers and add the whole numbers and then the fractions, we then calculate the total. This is the same method that I'm sure you thought about when I asked you at the beginning of the lesson how to calculate the price of the notebook and the pen. I guess you thought about adding the wholes and then the fractions. And now let's move to the activity mixed together under build part on page 18. We will practice adding mixed numbers using هنستخدم in this build part هنستخدم 3 different strategies. The first strategy using the number line. أول strategy هنستخدمها النمبر line. The second one through drawing a model. هنرسم model which represent each fraction with a different color. هنرسم each fraction بcolor مختلف. The third strategy, writing down an equation for the solution. And now let's start. Let's see problem number 1. And here, as you see, this is problem number 1. هو بيقول لي إيه في problem number 1. He wants me to add 1¼ plus 3/4. طيب تعالوا بقى نبتدي with the first strategy اللي هي كانت إيه النمبر line بتاعي. The most important thing is that we should know the value that each mark represents. And this will be according to the distance between every 2 whole numbers. يعني إيه whole numbers؟ يعني 0, 1 و 2 و 3 هم دول الwhole numbers. And how it is divided. طيب if you look at the number line هنلاحظ إيه؟ هنلاحظ إن the distance between every 2 whole numbers is divided into 4 parts. يعني من 0 ل 1 متقسمة 4 parts. من 1 ل 2 متقسمة برضو 4 parts and so on. And these are fourths. This means that each mark represents 1/4. طيب, I will start counting on this line here and you count with me in your school book. Now we will start counting all together from 0. هبدأ from 0. Okay? طيب يبقى 0 and then here 1/4, 2/4, 3/4 and 4/4 which is equals to 1. لما أوصل ل 4/4 يعني أنا كده وصلت ل 1. It is written on the number line as 1. طيب بعد 1 في إيه؟ بعد 1 في 1 and quarter, right? By now I have reached the first step which is 1 and 1/4. يبقى أنا وصلت الأول step عندي اللي هي 1 and 1/4 as you see here. مش أنا عايزة أعمل 1 and 1/4 plus 3/4. طيب how much should we add to it؟ يعني هعمل plus إيه؟ Exactly I will add 3/4. يبقى همشي 3 steps. We must continue 3 steps. يعني بعد 1 and 1/4 همشي 1 and 2/4, 1 and 3/4 and 1 and 4/4 which is what? Which is 2. Right? يبقى now I reach 2 and this is the result or the answer of the addition. يبقى أنا كده عملت 1 and 1/4 plus 3/4. Now do we have to start counting from 0 every time؟ هو لازم كل مرة أبدأ من 0؟ No. Why? Because this would be very difficult if we are required to reach large numbers. We should try to reach the number directly. يعني إيه الكلام اللي بقوله ده؟ يعني لما يقول لي 1 and 1/4 plus 3/4 على طول I will move from 0 ل 1/4 and then add 3 to reach 2. Okay, يبقى I will put mark on the first line and mark on the last one, so I will reach 2 and this is my answer. Now I can make sure of the solution through the second strategy. أتأكد بقى من الحل بتاعي صح ولا غلط من ال second strategy which we use the model. Okay, طيب I must divide the model into 4 quarters, right? مش أنا عندي denominator 4, so I will divide it into 4 quarters. يبقى I will divide the first model here, 4 quarters, the second one 4 quarters, like this. Okay, I represent 1 and 4 quarters and 3 quarters. طيب أول حاجة I will color the first one with red. Okay, طيب 1 and quarter I will color it in red. 1 يعني عندي whole 1 and 1 quarter in red like you see here. Okay, the second model I will color 3 quarters اللي هو plus 3 quarters. I will color it with different color which is blue. يبقى هعمل 1 2 3 and this part I must color it in red. Okay, يبقى تاني ال first one 1 and quarter I colored it in red and 3 quarters I colored it in blue. So the total colored parts احنا شايفين كل ال colored part is what? Yes, it consists of 2 holes. 2 holes, right? Now I colored the 2 models, the 2 holes. So my answer is also 2. And now we are sure that our answer using the number line is correct. Here's the answer equals 2, and also when I use the model the answer equals to 2. Now we will write the problem. تعالوا بقى نكتب ال problem using the third strategy which is the equation. I will write 1 and 1 over 4 plus 3 quarters like an equation. طيب أول حاجة هعمل إيه؟ I will add the fractions اللي هو 1 over 4 plus 3 over 4. اتفقنا إن ال denominator I will keep it as it is. يبقى عندي ال denominator 4. What about the numerator? I will add it. يبقى 1 plus 3 equals what? Equals 4. أنا كده عندي 1 and 1 and 4 over 4. طيب مين شاطر يقول لي هو مش 4 over 4 equals 1 whole. So I will add 1 plus 1 to be 2 wholes, and this is the answer. Now let's check our understanding and solve problem number 2 all together. Here's problem number 2 as you see here. طيب problem number 2, he wants me to add 2 and 1 over 5 plus 1 and 2 over 5. We solved problem number 1 using the number line and checked وتأكدنا ان الانسر بتاعنا صح using the models. طيب تعالوا بقى نبدأ المرة دي with the models. This one I will start with the models. طيب دلوقتي أنا عندي here 5 models as you see. Divided each one into 5 parts 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We will use them to represent the mixed number. First we will color 2 and 1 over 5. مش 2 and 1 over 5 يعني I will color 2 holes, right? يبقى I will color the first hole and the second hole in red. طيب ايه كمان and 1 over 5 يبقى I will color one part only out of 5. طيب تعالوا نشوف بقى 1 and 2 over 5 I will color it with another color or with the blue color. Okay, يبقى أنا محتاجة color 1 whole and 2 over 5 يبقى هعمل كمان 2 parts here out of 5 in blue. Okay, now to calculate the outcome or the answer, we will count the whole models and find that how many whole models. أنا عندي 1 2 3 whole models يبقى عندي 3 whole. Okay, طب what about the fractions? عندي how many fractions? عندي 1 2 3 out of 5 يبقى the answer of this problem is 3 and 3 over 5. Now let's check the answer. تعالوا بقى نتأكد من الانسر بتاعنا using this time the number line. Okay, have you noticed that there are 5 parts between every 2 whole numbers? حد لاحظ ان between every 2 whole numbers في ما بينهم 5 parts? This means that the whole number is divided into fifths. We will mark x on 2 and 1 over 5, right? طيب مش أنا عايزة أعمل 2 and 1 over 5 يبقى هروح عند 2 and 1 over 5 like this 2 and 1 over 5 and make x, right? Okay, this is the mark that is just after 2 زي ما احنا شايفين this is 2 and 1 over 5 وبعدين هعمل ايه؟ مطلوب مني ان انا اعمل plus 1 and 2 over 5 طيب تعالوا نشوف هنعملها ازاي. Let's see how we are going to count. أول حاجة هعملها I will add 2 fifths، يعني هعمل plus ل 2 over 5. يبقى I will move 2 steps here. اوكي؟ طيب يبقى أنا عملت كده plus ل 2 over 5. لازم أعمل plus whole 1 again. يبقى from here 2 and 2 over 5 I will move 1 whole, right? To reach what? Yes, here is 2 and 3 over 5. يبقى أنا محتاجة when I add 1 whole يبقى هروح ل 3 and 3 over 5. 3 and 3 over 5 like this. Here is 3 and 3 over 5. Right? Okay. Now, so the final answer or the final outcome will be 3 and 3 over 5. يبقى أنا أول حاجة I represent 2 and 1 over 5 like this. Then I add 2 over 5 to reach 2, 3 over 5. And then I add the 1 whole to reach 3 and 3 over 5 as you see here. Another method is to break down the 2 whole into 5 fifths, right? And then count by fifth. We will get the same answer, which is 3 and 3 over 5. This is the same answer we got by using the models. This is the same answer using the models. Finally, let's use the last strategy, which is writing an equation. Okay, so I will write the first one, or the first mixed number, 2 and 1 over 5 plus 1 and 2 over 5 to make the equation. This time I will add the 2 whole numbers first and then I will add the fractions. طب تعالوا نعمل كده ال whole numbers. هي 2 plus 1 equals what? 2 plus 1 equals 3. And now let's add the fractions. 1 over 5 plus 2 over 5. I will keep the denominator as it is and then add the numerator. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So the answer is also 3 and 3 over 5. And this answer, we got the same answer we got before in the last 2 methods. Now I'll give you some time to solve problem number 3. You can check the solution when we are back all together. This time we'll start solving using the equation. Let's move first to problem number 3. Problem number 3, I will start solving it by using the equation. Okay? Now, the equation is what? 1 over 6 plus, 2 and 1 over 6 plus 1 and 5 over 6. I want to write it in the red. So I will write the equation here. 2, 1 over 6 plus 1, 5 over 6. طيب first we will add the fractions. أول حاجة هعملها adding the fractions. 1 over 6 plus 5 over 6 equals what? Yes, equals 6 over 6. And then I will add the whole numbers. 2 plus 1 equals what? Equals 3, right? So the total outcome is 3 and 6 over 6. Okay. Now as we know, we don't leave it as it is. 6 over 6 معناها that I have 1 whole, right? So 3 plus 1 whole gives me 4 wholes, and this is the answer. And now let's solve the same problem by using the models. We will see 6 models. شايفين هنا عندنا 6 models, right? طيب each one divided into 6 parts. And now let's start with the first number. We will color 2 holes and 1 6 in red. This is the first hole and this is the second hole. Okay? طيب يبقى عندي 2 holes and 1 out of 6. يبقى كمان I will color 1 out of 6. We will color them in red as you see. The second number I will color it in different color which is blue. Okay? طيب I will color 1 hole and 5 over 6. يبقى I will color 1 hole like this and 5 parts out of 6. Let's count all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 parts out of 6. Now, after I colored 2 and 1 over 6 plus 1 and 5 over 6, the answer will be how many whole colored models. And عندي كده how many whole colored? Yes, I have 4 colored or 4 holes colored models. There will be remaining a whole model that it is not colored, which is this one. When using the number line, تعالوا بقى نستخدم النمبر line. We will start from the first number and mark on X on it. وهعمل X على النمبر line ده. طيب I will start at 2 and 1 over 6. مش أول fraction هنا عندي 2 and 1 over 6. This is the first mark after 2. يبقى هروح كده عند 2 and 1 over 6 وهعمل الفيرست مارك بتاعتي اللي هي X. This is because the spaces between the two whole numbers divided into 6 parts. لو لاحظنا إن هنلاقي إن between two whole numbers السبيسز دي عبارة عن 6 parts عشان الدينومينيتور بتاعي 6. Then we count after that 5 6. مش أنا لازم أعمل add ل 1 plus and 5 over 6 يبقى هعمل addition ل 5 over 6. Okay, يبقى I will move 1 2 3 4 5 till I reach 3, right? Then after that I will add the whole 1. طب أنا كده واقفة عند 3 and I will add whole 1 to reach 4, right? And this is my answer. هنلاقي إن ده نفس الانسر that we have got by using the two previous methods, which is the model and the equation. And now I'll give you time to solve problem number 4 and 5 using the method you prefer. More than one problem that we solved today, we are given a situation and we represented it with a model or equation. However, in Connect part on page 20, we are required مطلوب مننا بقى نعمل عكس اللي احنا عملناه ده. We are required to write an addition story problem of our own and solve it. تعالوا نشوف كده ال Connect part and solve it. We can use one of the equations. ممكن على فكرة نستخدم أي equation من اللي هو كاتبهم أو create your own as you wish. Now for example, I have students in my classroom who said في students عندي قالوا لي that they will write problems about situations that are specific to them. حاجة تخصهم هم. حازم قال that his problem هيتكلم عن what he buys every day for dinner. You can also think about different problems. ممكن كل واحد يعمل different problems and share them with your friends and check the solutions using the methods you prefer. Or share the solution with your class teacher. Now we can move to the practice part and check your understanding, which you can access using the code that appears on the screen. And this connects ده هيوصلك للdigital version. Now let's solve problem number 1 all together. And now in problem number 1, we have 3 and quarter plus 2 and 3 quarters. Okay, 3 and quarter plus 2 and 3 quarters. And now we add the fractions first. هعمل fraction plus each other. يعني 1 over 4 plus 3 over 4. هو مش 1 over 4 plus 3 over 4 يعني 4 over 4 which is equal to whole 1, right? طيب يبقى عندي 3 plus 2 equals to 5, right? Plus whole 1 or 4 over 4 which is equals to 6. And this is my answer. Now let's move to problem number 2. Problem number 2 عايزني أعمل 4 over 5 plus 2 over 5 plus 3 over 5. This is problem number 2 equals to what? If we use the number line, تعالوا نحلها كده بالنمبر line. We will count 4 fifths, right? And then add them. يبقى هعمل إيه؟ I will draw the number line like this. Here, I will write 0 and 1. Sorry. Here 0, 1 and 2. Okay. طيب. The space between 0 and 1 will be what? Yes, it will be 5 because the denominator is 5. So I will divide this into 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. and then here I'll divide it also into 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here's number 1 and here is number 2. Okay, طيب دلوقتي I want to add 4 over 5 plus 2 over 5 plus 3 over 5. What should I do? 4 over 5. So I will move from 0 till I reach 4 over 5. This is 4 over 5, right? Then plus 2 over 5, يعني I will move 2 steps. 1 and 2, I will reach 1 and 1 over 5, right? And then I must add 3 over 5, so I will move 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, so I will reach here, which is 1 and 4 over 5. So my answer is 1 whole and 4 over 5 as a fraction, and this is called mixed number. Now we have learned today how to add mixed numbers using 3 different strategies. ممكن نعملها بالمودلز or the number line or solving through the equation directly by adding whole numbers then adding the fractions. Don't forget محدش ينسى أبداً that if a numerator greater than the denominator اللي هي اسمها improper fraction لازم نعمل الفراكشن ده convert it into mixed number. mixed number هو كان ايه؟ عايزة أفكركم بيه كان whole number and the fraction. And now we have finished our lesson. Thank you so much for your watching and see you next time.